Welcome to Talking Tuesdays with the Starch Queens. It is our June 5th episode. I can't believe we're in June already. Wow, that's crazy. So tonight I'm going to start talking a little bit about protein because protein, and we just did a Talking Tuesday with Dr. Jeanne about protein, which is an absolute fabulous one. And he talks about protein, and I think this is one of the big myths that we have, especially for people that are new to plant-based living, because that's one of the questions you get. I mean, I was at a health fair in the Bronx, and I twice I got the same, where do you get your protein? And I think there's still this myth, though, the complementary protein. Do you remember hearing about this, that you have to have beans and rice? Because otherwise you're not going to get the complete proteins. No, that's craziness. So protein is kind of one of those misnomers. And I forget who talked about it in terms of having complementary proteins. You've got to have, beans and rice. I'm not quite sure who said that, but it's not true. As long as you're eating enough calories in the day, you don't have to really worry about protein. It's a non-issue because fruits, vegetables, all contain protein. It's crazy. Broccoli is like 50% protein. Spinach, oh my God, amazingness. But the powerhouses, of course, are like your beans, your lentils. Those are going to be your powerhouses for protein. But it's amazing how much, like a potato has protein, broccoli, carrots, all plant-based things have it. And I dare anybody, if anybody's out there listening to us, does anybody know the name of the disease where you're protein deficient? Does anybody know?
I don't know.
It's going to be a delay of like 30 seconds between that and the Facebook Live, but nobody knows that because nobody has it. Does anybody know anyone who's protein deficient? No. Because we don't, as long as you're eating enough calories in the day, you're going to be fine. The World Health Organization recommends only 5% protein in your whole diet. That's it. That's a small amount. Because, hey, guess what? That's what breast milk is. Breast milk is about 5 to 6% protein. And that's all you need in terms of protein. So if you're eating a plant-based diet, you're going to get anywhere from 8 to 18% protein, depending upon what you're eating and how many beans or lentils or what you're combining it with. And that was from Freddie Muntz, who is one of our New Starch Queens members. But she also had a question. She wanted to know, what was it? How do we get all the amino acids? Well, as long as you're eating a variety of different proteins, which is basically eating from the rainbow, as long as you're eating from the rainbow, you're going to get your protein without any issues. You're going to get about between 8 and 18%, depending upon how much. And it's best if you can have a relatively light meal in the morning, but eat the main part of your day sometime in the afternoon, and then eat relatively light in the evening and allow your body time to digest. But protein really, seriously, is a non-issue. Freddie, let it go, because you're going to get people asking you, where do you get your protein? And there's two different ways you can respond. You can kind of just say, well, I've been trying this diet and it's, this lifestyle that seems to be working, and I've had my protein tested and it seems to be fine. So you're non-confrontational. Or, you could be like me and be like, in your face going, do you even know how much protein you're supposed to have in a given day? I didn't think so. So when you do know, let me know, because then we'll talk about this in an intelligent manner. But, sometimes I get a little snippy. It just brings out that question, just kind of really makes me crazy because I've heard it so many times. And people are asking, and I guess it's kind of become brainwashed, to the idea of protein and this macronutrient. So I don't know. Anyway, but as long as you're eating a whole food plant-based diet and you're getting enough calories for the day, you're going to be fine in terms of protein. Let it go. It's a non-issue. So,
Yep.
So do you want to add anything to that?
Well, I just want to add that, you've been plant-based for over 7 years. I've been plant-based for over 6 years. I've had my blood tested numerous times, and most recently as a month ago. And I had my protein tested and it was absolutely perfect. We are definitely not protein deficient.
No.
I did have a doctor when I was going through the whole weight loss program that was the fen craze, and he was an
Oh,
endocrinologist. And
God.
that was back when I was vegan before in the early 90s. And he said, the first thing he said was, be sure you eat your rice and bean burrito, your rice and beans together. And that was old thinking back when it was about food combining, and it's not the case anymore. There's been so much more science since then. And I mean, how many of our plant-based doctors have said it's a non-issue? I highly recommend, Freddie, if you still have concerns with protein, read Dr. Garth Davis's book, Proteinaholic.
Oh, that's a good one.
If you read that book, you will never question where your source of protein is or protein deficiencies, because it's just not possible. It's not possible.
Do you know the name of the disease, Nancy?
No, I don't know. I've heard it many times, and I believe Dr. Dene said it when we had our Q&A with him last week, but I don't remember it.
Kwashiorkor.
That's it. I knew
I'd recommend it to you too. So yeah. But the only person who's going to have that is going to be somebody who's like in sub-Saharan Africa that does not have enough calories.
Right.
That's it. That's where you're going to find it.
Exactly. Not here.
No.
All right. Well, we have another question, and this is one that I like to get into because the members of our Starch Queens communities know I like to get inside our head and talk the psychological talk with weight loss and lifestyle.
Before you get into that, I want to share a testimony.
Oh, I'd love to hear a testimony.
Because we've been doing this program now for 5 months. And
I know. Can you believe it? 5 months has gone by like that.
I know. Blink and woo, here we are.
Yep.
And I'm excited because, I'm at the end of my school.
Yay!
Oh my God.
Out for Jeanne.
Yeah, right? Well, just a few more days and, other stuff that I got to finish up, graduation and all that good stuff. And then I'm out for the summer. And I'll be driving with my car down the road with Alice Cooper, going, school's out forever.
Oh boy, that is one song that's played a lot every June.
Yes, ma'am. And I'll have all my windows down, and I'll turn my stereo up, and I'll be driving out of the school going, school's out.
School's out. I have other friends too that are teachers, and they always say they think the kids are excited about being out of school.
No.
The teachers.
Not even close. It's not even close. The students don't even think compared to the teachers. How much
exactly.
Anyway, but I got to share this this is from Rabbi Beth Kramer Mazer, who joined us in the Starch Queens program. And she shared this with me, and I was like, oh my God, I wanted to cry. So she says, although I've been eating whole food plant-based for about a year now on my own, by joining the Starch Queens program this spring, my experience has been deeply enriched as compared to before. The Starch Queen program has not only offered me camaraderie and support on a practical level, but it's also providing a deep wellspring of science-based learning on a wide array of topical areas relating to whole food, plant-based, SOS-free lifestyle. I've been enjoying extensive webinars on topics relating to nutrition, fitness, specific disease prevention, our environmental pollutants, and so much more. And these interactive sessions are absolutely superior in quality. Oh, thank you. I was like, whoa. She says, as a member, I have personalized access to Jeanne and Nancy, who offer immense support, poignant insights, and rich knowledge along the way. We're connected through member-only avenues, including a private Facebook group, Google Classroom, member-only video classes, and even telephone calls and text messages as needed. Jeanne and Nancy comprise a magical and symbiotic combination. Yeah, that's you. You're the yin to my yang.
We're the yin and yang.
Yep. Together they offer to members deep knowledge of the most current evidence-based science, discussion on psychological nuances, that's what you're going to get into in a minute, that may arise for folks embarking on this health journey, support on a day-to-day practical matters, and of course humor and kindness as we travel this road together. It is such a warm and inviting program, and I'm so glad I found it. This is much more than a weight loss program, though it does help one navigate toward weight loss, no doubt. Wow.
That's awesome. Thank you,
Isn't
Beth.
that amazing?
Yeah, Beth's doing great in the program. Thank you so much, Beth, for the testimonial. We really appreciate it. We have a quick question, though, Jeanne, from one of our viewers, Paul Murgia. Paul and I are classmates. We went to school together. He's been on an amazing weight loss journey. Paul, correct me if I'm wrong, over 200 pounds. And he's had a myriad of health issues. He did not let spinal issues, pelvic issues, stop his journey. He hikes, he bikes. He's just, this been an amazing transformation. But Paul wants to know is how often should you or can you eat pasta?
Oh.
How often can you eat pasta? So Paul's learning about a whole food plant-based lifestyle. So this is pretty new to him. His mom is a retired cook. She was a cook in a Mexican restaurant here in town that's been around for over 50 years. And so, we're just learning nutrition here. What's pasta in our
Well, Paul
lifestyle?
says it's 290 pounds.
Paul says it's 290 pounds. What?
I know. That's like two
Raise
people.
the roof. Yeah, raise the roof. I mean,
Wow.
Paul, that's amazing. You are amazing. So let's talk a little bit about pasta before we go on.
Oh, high caloric density. Now, it's a processed food, but is it plant-based? Sure. You're taking the grains from flour and whatnot. If it's, just regular pasta, white pasta, then what's happened is you stripped out all the nutrients out of that pasta. And it's a spike. It's going to be a huge blood sugar spike in your blood. And then you're going to have a sugar high, then you're going to have a sugar low. So you get, this influx. So it has a huge impact on you. And even if you were to eat pasta, say that is, I like the rice pasta myself when I do eat pasta. So, but do I eat pasta very much? Not really, because it's going to pack the pounds on. So it's high caloric density, higher caloric density than ice cream. I mean, it's crazy. I never thought so, but it is. So if you're trying to lose weight, then pasta's not a good choice. It's very processed. The more processed something is, the easier it is. Your body breaks it down quicker, and it goes into your bloodstream quicker. We have the sugar spikes and sugar lows. So it's not a good choice.
It's still whole food plant-based. It's still a better option than meat. Always a better option than meat.
Of course.
But it is not, and dairy, of course, but it is still not a product, like Jeanne says, that you want to use on a regular basis if you're going towards weight loss. And even when you get to your goal weight and you're in maintenance, this is a food that can put weight back on rapidly. Very quickly. I mean, you could go and have pasta 2 or 3 times a week, blink your eyes, and boom. Now, I'm speaking from experience because I used to be able to live on all things pasta, and I would put 5 pounds on without even trying. So pastas, it's a tough one. Better to not have it while you're in weight loss mode.
Yeah, and if you are just maintenance, once a week or whatever, because it can't be a trigger food. I know for me, it's one of my comfort foods. I mean, I still adore mac and cheese, or mac and not cheese, I should say. Clarify that. But I still love that, and it's one of my comfort foods, and I could easily eat a lot of it. I mean, I'm not kidding. I mean, I could eat several bowls in a sitting, and then go back for more the next day, again and again and again, until that pasta's gone.
Oh, yeah. And then it's, the thing is with calorie density, Paul, is a serving of pasta is, it's like this much. And if you look at the calories on the pasta, and then you add pasta sauce, which it's, unless you're making your own pasta sauce at home with no oil, you're going to have a very small, I mean, if you followed the labels, like, okay, you've got a half an ounce of pasta, dry pasta, will cook up to a little bit, more, and then you add a big ladle of pasta sauce on it that has oil in it, you've easily going to have 450 to 500 calories. Then traditionally you shave on your Parmesan cheese. Now you've increased the fat content. So now you're at a 750 calorie entree, and that's going to leave you partially satiated and wanting to eat again. That's like the Chinese food syndrome. An hour and a half later, you're going to be hungry again because there was really no nutrition in the pasta. You've gotten very few micronutrients that you might get from the tomatoes in the tomato sauce. So it's definitely not a Starch Queen's recommended food.
Teresa Adams asked, which is a better choice, a banana or a potato?
Well, they both have potassium.
Yeah, they're both amazing. I don't know.
They both have about 150 calories, depending on the size of the potato.
I mean, we recommend in our Starch Queens program just to have 2 fruits a day, because you can really go crazy on fruits, and they're good, they're wonderful, but 2, we limit 2. So a banana is a good choice for the day. I mean, lots of good phytonutrients. It's an excellent choice, but I'm a potato queen. I mean, seriously. I actually found a Mrs. Potato Head and I sent it to Nancy.
I love it. I mean, my grandson and I play with Mrs. Potato Head all the time. And of course I call her Starch Queen. But my choice would be, Teresa, the potato. And the reason is because the potato is going to cause satiety. It's going to tell you a little bit in your brain that it's going to trigger those stretch receptors more so than the banana. And that's why we recommend a potato at the potato hour.
Right.
So that it carries you for a couple hours longer than the banana. The banana is a concentrated fruit. There's little to no water in it. So you're going to get a fructose surge in your bloodstream, and you're going to, banana, good sized banana, it's going to have some bulk in your stomach, but the potato is going to tell your brain that you've got the stretch receptors going. So the potato is going to always be, in my opinion, a better option.
Yep. Love it for the potato hour.
Yeah, love it. And I love bananas too. I'm pretty sure I'm got some monkey in me because I mean, Nick and I buy bananas at Costco. Like
I'm not jumping on that one.
No, our house could. No, really, we buy groceries like if we owned a zoo, because you should see our cart at Costco. People look at us like, "Gosh, you guys got like a lot of produce." We're like, "Yeah, what else should you be eating?" So they must think we have like a lot of animals or rabbits or something. But we buy 2 and 3 bunches of bananas every week. But we also freeze them for nice cream. So we love bananas, Teresa. But the better choice for a snack or a meal replacement is the potato.
Freddie asks, when is the potato hour?
Go, girl. The potato hour. So that time, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, when you're like going, oh, dang, I'm so hungry. You ate lunch early, things are wearing off, and this is when you get out of your office or your cubicle and you start going to the snack machine because you've got that hunger. Your inner raccoon's coming out because you may have had a small lunch. You may have not had a lunch that had enough starch in it, or for whatever reason you didn't eat enough the day before, or you exercised heavy in the morning. Whatever the reason is, at 3 o'clock you're searching for food. You're, like Jeanne says, you're a raccoon and you're on the prowl. You're on the hunt. So we have what's called the Starch Queens Potato Hour. And this is common through a lot of the plant-based groups. It's not unique just to the Starch Queens, but we highly recommend it because at 3 o'clock, most people have to wait to 7 o'clock to get to dinner. So when you come home and you're starving, what's the first thing you do is you go to the refrigerator and you start grazing. And when you're grazing, you're getting maybe 200, 300, 400 accidental calories just to get you through the cooking hour and to the dinner hour. So have a nice sized sweet potato or russet potato or a cup of brown rice between 3 and 4, and you breeze right to the dinner table. You come home, you've got a little energy boost, your stomach's not gnarling at you and growling at you, and you go home, you're happy, you can cook, you can prep and sit down and have a nice dinner with your family. So we really recommend the potato hour. Yesterday, I took a Japanese sweet potato, cut it in half, microwaved it in my microwave at work. I can eat them cold, but I just wanted it warm yesterday, and it was delicious. And went right through the dinner up to dinner hour, and with absolutely no ravenous raccoon coming out inside of me. So that's something that we recommend to everybody, is always pack a potato with you.
Absolutely, for the potato hour. And I like to put a little bit of mustard on it. You know, I love it like a Dijon, but I can't have it because of the salt. So I just have the regular, what's that salt? The
Westbury, the no salt.
Westbury no salt.
Yeah, that's what I use.
Westbury no salt, and put that on the potatoes. But also, my favorite is Sriracha sauce. And it's this sauce made out of vegetables. It's like a Sriracha sauce, but it's vegetables.
I looked it up on Amazon, and it's on my list. I'm not a big fan of Sriracha. I've decided I don't like it.
See, but it's like a soft flavor. You know, it gives a nice spice.
Yeah, I love Cholula.
Some of that I cut up the potatoes and I put them into my mini hot logic at work, for the potato hour. And I'll drizzle a little bit of the Sriracha sauce on the top of it, heat them up. And I love it because I like them warm, and they're awesome. Martina Stahl says, would you eat the peel of a non-organic baked potato?
Nope. I
That's a
wouldn't.
good question. I can't remember if that's on the clean. There's the clean 15 and the dirty dozen, and I can't remember if potatoes are on the clean 15.
No, they're dirty dozen.
They're dirty dozen. Then no, I get organic. So
Yep.
call it a day. You know, for
Yep.
that one.
Yep. Now, with that said, there's always exceptions to every rule.
Yeah.
If I was out and about and I had to go to Wendy's drive-through and I was so hungry, I would even eat the plastic container. I would eat the potato and skin, because whatever little chemicals that are on there or was grown in there is already in the potato. It's already been commercially farmed. You're not going to get a organic potato buying a non-organic product. So you're going to get nitrogen and, you know, the chemicals that were used in the production of that potato. And if I was so hungry that I would eat the plastic container, I would devour the potato and not think twice about eating the skin. But that's the exception to the rule. If I'm at home, no, I wouldn't. But if I'm on the road, so you have to, you know, weigh the odds. You know, if you wanted to dive into it and eat it and not worry about picking out every single little piece of the white potato flesh, then don't obsess about it. Just eat it, and then make every meal after that as clean as possible.
Exactly.
You know, it's not going to kill you. Your body has a great defense mechanism for it. And, you know, the majority of the population is eating these potatoes anyway. So yeah, I mean, again, but you have to take it and think about it. What's your situation?
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get on. Here's a good one. Why do I still have fat brain when I try on clothes?
Fat brain.
Man, I love that one.
You. That's such a good one. And we talked about this earlier when we were doing our 10-day challenges. I know you have a good story, but for those of us, I'm going to speak for Jeanne and myself, we were overweight a big portion of our lives. Mm-hmm. And so when you look in the mirror and you see yourself at a specific mass for a number of years, your brain adapts to this visual of you. Now, I'm not a neurologist, but I've read up on fat brain, and it's truly a thing. So you get in the habit of seeing yourself a certain way, and it's actually tied to the people that also lose a limb, and we'll talk a little bit about that, where they have the phantom pain. Our brain is so amazing. So you go to the dress shop or the store and you buy a new outfit, and you say it's a size or two smaller, but you still see yourself as your heavier, greater mass self, because that's what you're used to seeing. And I have experienced for years, even since losing 105 pounds, I will still walk past a mirror and I'll go, who's that? I do not recognize myself. And then I'll go to a store and I'll buy, you know, I went from a size 20 to a size 8. That's where I'm at now. And my 8s are getting loose. And I still, in my brain, see myself most of the time as an 18, 20, because from the time I gave childbirth, there was the yo-yo ups and downs, but I was never slim for more than a brief moment. You know, I did every yo-yo crash diet there was. So I would get down. And it was like my brain never had the opportunity to adjust out of fat brain. But now that I've been 2.5 or so years into my current, pretty much my body mass now is going down slowly, but I'm now seeing myself as I look now. But there's still on occasions I'll see myself in a picture and I'll go, wow, whoa. It's like my brain does this, you know, auto adjust, and it's a real thing. It's like people who've lost a limb, they have phantom brain, and they've actually shown in research that if they put a mirror next to the other limb and the brain, it looks like that other limb is there, the phantom pain stops like that. It's fascinating to me. So we have to just continue on and love yourself. Your body's changing, and it takes time for your brain to adjust.
It does.
And as it does, it's like, wow, you start seeing yourself as your slimmer, healthier you. And it's totally normal. So what I'm getting here, the end here is that it's normal to experience fat brain. you're the same as everybody else who's been overweight the majority of their life or a big portion of their life in the last 5 years, because it takes time for your brain to adjust.
I call it the miracle of the underwear every day.
I have to hear that one, Jeanne. I think underwear is a miracle. I love underwear.
I do, but I hold my underwear up and I'm like, I can't fit my butt into that. And I put my legs in and I pull them up and I go, I fit into those. Woo. And I hold those up and I go, really?
Yeah, girl.
I know. It's yeah. So
that's the payoff for the lifestyle change, is that you get to start having those cute little bikinis and things like that.
No. I am not.
All right, let's get this show back on track.
I'm not wearing those thongs. I'm sorry. Those look painful. I'm sorry. Anyway, Debbie Osborne Lewis says, are multigrain rice cakes with no salt or sugar okay? Nope.
Go for it, Jeanne.
No. These again it's running along the same lines as like the pasta. These are higher caloric density than ice cream. It's crazy. And you're like, wait a minute, it's just puffed air. And it's, no. But if you start and take all those grains and you process them and put them together into this little rice cake, even though the calories are really low, the problem is they're trigger food, number one. So if I start eating them, I'll eat the whole bag. Oh, and I'll look at the bag and go, hey, this is only like 200 calories for the whole bag or whatever it is. And you think, that's nothing, but your brain has to get past that, because number one, it's a trigger food. Number two, it's high caloric density. And believe it or not, it's going to pack on the pounds. And you're like, wait a minute, it's like puffed air or nothing. So jump in, Nancy.
For me, my biggest morning food. Everybody asks me, what's the food you miss the most? I don't miss meat at all, because I just don't. I don't need meat to sustain my life. I don't need dairy to sustain my life. But I miss popcorn.
Potato chips.
Yeah, popcorn. Nick and I, we would share a big bowl of popcorn. We would make popcorn and we'd share it. But it's like, it wasn't until I realized that popcorn has, I can't remember how many calories it is per pound, but it's
ridiculous.
Huge. It's huge. So popcorn is a real treat for us now. And rice cakes are highly processed. And I want to point out that they were part of the McDougall Maximum Weight Loss Program in the early 90s, 20 some years ago when the book was released. But since then, we know that rice cakes are not a weight loss promoting food.
No. Somebody said, what about Hello ice cream? Yes or no? I don't know what Hello ice cream is.
I think it's pronounced Halo.
Halo? Okay.
I
don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is, but it's processed. So if it is something that you buy at the store, it's going to have added sugar. It's going to have added additives for thickening and all of the products, salt. It's going to be so high in sodium, high in sugar. It's not something we recommend.
No.
Oh, it says Halo is filled with eggs. Yeah. So right there, that's a nope, not whole food, not plant-based.
No, we make nice cream. We make nice cream, not so much for the weight loss program, but if you need to have something like that, you take fruit and you puree it, and you can make it come out like the bananas. Oh my God, it comes out like soft serve. It's called Yonanas. You can get them at like Bed Bath & Beyond, Amazon, whatever. And you put the frozen fruit in and it comes out like soft serve ice cream. It's delicious.
Oh yeah. Howard Belich, who's part of our Plant-Based Chico group, is watching us tonight. Hey, Howard. Howard has a Yonanas, and he absolutely loves it. I've done nice cream in a couple of our Plant-Based Chico meetings, and people are just blown away that you can just take frozen bananas, throw them in there with some plant milk. I'll put in some alcohol-free vanilla extract and maybe a couple walnuts, and you've got this vanilla walnut nice cream. Delicious. What else have we done? Some carob. You can put some unsweetened carob in there. It's the sky's the limit, and that is an amazing, amazing dessert. Yeah, Howard Belich says it's great. It is great. It's really good. And also, if you have a Champion juicer, it works much like a Yonanas. You can shove and press through the Champion juicer and it will extrude a wonderful creamy, and you can do the same with fresh or frozen fruit and make a sorbet. Oh, there's so many great ways to make a dessert. It doesn't compromise your health.
I know. And I've got the Norwalk, which is a juicer that is to die for. I mean, it's the Cadillac of juicers. And it has that spout that you can put it through. It's called Churcherate. So,
real quick, I see Jamie Reese. Am I pronouncing your last name correctly? Ries, Jamie Reese, Rice? I apologize. My go-to pizza crust when we make pizza, if we don't make our own crust, is the Engine 2, which is sold at Whole Foods.
Right.
It has no oil, no added salt, no added sugar. It's whole. I'm not sure. There's two different types of pizza crust. So we just we do the Engine 2 crust when we decide to do pizza.
Right.
It's frozen. It stays in the freezer.
I just took a class from Kate and Christini. She's over in Ridgefield. Oh my God. Her class on making pizza was amazing. And I learned so much from her. And if you're in the Ridgefield, Connecticut, Danbury, Westchester area, she's got classes every week. Oh my gosh. I learned so much from her. We made a pesto basil sauce that was to die for. And she's got this cheese sauce. And I got to share the recipe with you. Oh my God. Incredible. So really, really good.
In the comments.
Oh my God. It's amazing. Is cauliflower pizza crust okay? Well, I would have to look at the ingredients, but a lot of it, what's happening here is you're processing the food. And typically what happens when you process the food, you're going to add chemicals, you're going to add, salt, it could be sugar, oil, most of the time. So I'd have to see what the ingredients is. So.
Right. Anyway. And so that's the thing you have to be careful. Now I want to do a big, huge warning on the cauliflower pizza crust. If you are Whole Foods plant-based, you have to watch the ingredients in the, it's growing with popularity, the brand California. It's actually from the founder of is here in Chico. They use oil. Oh. And I was so bummed because I've heard great reviews about the cauliflower used with cauliflower pizza crust, but it's got oil in it. So it's a deal breaker for those of us who don't consume oil. I mean, oil is a deal breaker. Dr. Esselstyn, it's going to damage your endothelial layer of your cells. So it's a deal breaker. But for pizza crust that can stay in the freezer and work well, Engine 2, plant strong, Rip Esselstyn's product with Whole Foods. It's good. And I actually have several of the crusts in my freezer right now. Yes,
but that's not good for weight loss because
it's not good for weight loss.
No, high caloric density.
Once a month. Yep. When our daughters come over, it's easy. We'll do our personal pizzas. We throw them in the oven and we have a great time.
Right.
We do, and then also for the pizza sauce, we use the Engine 2 pizza sauce or pasta sauce because it works great. They have multiple flavors, no oil, and it's like only $2.99 a jar. It's really inexpensive. Also at Whole Foods.
Yep. Yeah. Some people have asked, what is the trifecta approach? Because we've talked about this on numerous occasions. And the trifecta approach is you have to change what goes in. So that's the food and drink. You have to change what goes on, personal care products, the environmental toxins, and you got to exercise. You got to move it. Okay. I mean, so I want to talk a little bit about exercise tonight because exercise is amazing and there's so many benefits. So obviously it's going to help with weight loss. I mean, it's going to help bring your metabolism up and speed it up and get things moving. It's good for muscles and bones because especially if you're doing any kind of weight bearing, and I'm not talking about going out and bench pressing like 500 pounds, a couple of, 5-10 pound weights, you're good. That's it. But in any kind of stress bearing, like yoga, that's great. It's going to help strengthen your bones, increase your energy levels. Oh my gosh. Since I started doing these challenges with Kara, I think she's trying to kill me actually. So, and if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. Anyway, but I've noticed my energy levels have been going up. It can reduce your risk of chronic disease. Wow. So regular exercise is going to improve insulin sensitivity, cardiovascular fitness. It's going to decrease blood pressure and your blood fat levels are going to go down. Happier moods. I've noticed, people that, I've noticed myself like in the last month or so that my moods are more even and keeled, not up, down, up, down. So, and I've been on the more happier of sides. better sleep quality, because when you're exercising every day, you're moving toxins, you're getting nutrition, you're moving the toxins in or out of your body. It just helps you to sleep. It also, and this was fascinating, it says that the physical activity raises the body's core temperature. And so 5 to 6 hours post-workout, the decreased core temperature sends signals to the body that you're going to sleep. And you're more alert during the day. Improved concentration and creativity. So the work exercise program, oh my God, it's amazing. You're starting to see cardiovascular systems and increased endorphins that are going to stimulate the mind. So, at work, I sit on a ball. This is one of the things that I do. And I sit at this at home, and this is what I'm sitting on here. This is a ball. And you can do all kinds of cardio exercises on this ball. It's amazing. And I find myself sitting up, because you have to sit up taller. You have to have your core muscles. It's amazing. Reduces stress levels and anxiety, because my God, we're stressed. As people, we're stressed. And so I found that this helps you to deal and keep even keel with this. It releases higher levels of norepinephrine. I'm not saying it right, and I don't know if I typed it right. It's a chemical that regulates the area of the brain that sends stress signals. So the last one is maintain mental fitness, because as we start to get older, our brains start to decrease. And the people that have been exercising, their brain stays the same and engages the entire body, the brain and the rest of the body. So one of the things we've been doing in the Starch Queens program is trying to get people to do Fitbits, because we've got our Fitbits, and yep, Nancy's got hers. She's got 2. So.
That's the Fit. This is the Fitbit. This is my Apple Watch. I have the smallest little Fitbit, and then I have it on this bangle.
Okay.
So I love Fitbit.
Well, this is my Fitbit. I think this is the Charge 2. Mm-hmm. So you've got to find somebody who's about your level. And when you can do that and you find that person, I'll go to bed a couple thousand steps ahead of Kara. And the next thing, I'll wake up in the morning and I'm 5,000 steps in the hole. And it's like, did you put the Fitbit on the dog? Are you sleepwalking at night? What are you doing?
Deacon.
So I think she's trying to kill dog. I mean, if it doesn't kill you, it's going to make us stronger, right? And I have noticed myself, my legs, that I am just, I can feel myself really starting to respond to doing this, because we have been pushing each other. I mean, it's crazy. The amount of steps. Amazing. Yeah, I mean, the amount of steps is just phenomenal. So when you can find that one person who's if you sign up with and do a Fitbit challenge with somebody who's a lot more advanced than you, you feel defeated. So, and then if you're ahead of the person that you're competing against, you're like, I don't want to do too many steps because, I don't want to make them look too bad, whatever. But if you can find that person that you can compete against, or just go out and do exercise and walk, whatever, but get out and exercise. You got to move it, and start going.
Yep.
So that's one thing. But, the question, I think one of the things that prompted this was, should we be getting 10,000 steps a day? What are your thoughts, Nancy?
I think we should. I think we should always strive to get that, as far as at any age. I think that our lifestyle is more stationary. We are driving desks. We're less mobile. Our kids are playing video games. And I thought it was great when they started those dance video games and the Wii bowling. We've got to be mobile and getting out there. Like, I love how you were saying the research shows that it helps your mind, body, and spirit. I know that when Nick and I are out walking and hiking and biking, we're happy. We are outdoors and we're stronger. We're getting muscle tone. It's social. You are building a social relationship with Kara through being fitness buddies. Those are connections that are so powerful for our psyche, not just to mention our gaining muscle and bone mass, because the more you walk, the stronger your bones are getting and the stronger your muscles are getting. I think everybody should strive to get 10,000 steps in a day. I'm right here, guilty as sin, that I drive a desk, and it's really hard for me to pull myself away and get out there and do 2 or 3.
You need to get a ball.
Steps. Yeah.
You need to get a ball to sit on.
I can't because my desk is set. I've got one. I have one. I've taken one to work. I even Jill bought the ball chair. She brought it down to work for me. That's got the little back on it, and the stand is too low. I mean, I look like, I was sitting down
get the
here
right
like
size ball, dear.
So, it was,
you was like, the right size. Get the 65 centimeter ball.
65 centimeter. I will go get it tonight.
I just synced up with Fitbit. Kara's at 42,275. I'm at 35,842.
45.
This is for the work week hustle.
Oh, for the
this
work
is
week
Monday
hustle.
through Friday. So we're up to
good.
we're on Tuesday. We're on Tuesday.
You're both machines.
And she's up to 42,275.
You're both doing amazing.
I was beating her for a minute today. I just wanted to get that out there. I was ahead of her until she went out, and I don't know. I think she puts the Fitbit on the dog and puts the dog on the treadmill.
Well, Kara says no dog, 2-hour difference between us. So I think it's great. And I think 10,000 is a reasonable, that's a couple miles. For the average person, it's about 3 miles, 3.5 miles collectively over the day.
I think it's more. I think it's like over 4.
Well,
4
no,
miles.
because when I run, I can go running and have only a couple hundred, maybe less than 1,000.
But running is a different pace than walking.
So, well, I know, but I can do 3.5 miles and I get my 10,000 steps in.
Okay.
So, I don't know exactly, but that's just been what I've noticed since I've owned a Fitbit and running. It's always like if I get to that 3.5 mile point, this thing lights up and it got 10,000 steps. So anyway, I believe that you should strive for 10,000 steps, but don't start off. If you've never been consistently walking, do not make 10,000 steps your first day.
No.
Towards it.
No.
Make your first day 2,000 or 2,500 and work up, 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 and up.
Whatever you have your first day is the baseline.
Yep.
And then each day, try and make each day a little bit more than the day before.
Yep.
That's it.
That's what I did. I started with that. I always thought 10,000 steps. Who walks 10,000 steps in a day? And then now once you get used to it, it's like, okay, it's doable. It's doable and it feels really, really good.
It
really
does.
Good. All right. That was a great question. And I have a testimonial that I would like to share. I do. And this one is so, Susan, you know how much I love you. Susan joined Plant-Based Chico about a year ago when we were doing our 10-day challenges. Susan has, some health issues, weight loss issues. She's Italian, so she loves her pasta. And this is a new journey for her. And this is why we're doing the Starch Queens and why we're trying to separate out what's hard about losing weight in a plant-based lifestyle, because people will jump on the bandwagon, they'll go plant-based, they'll lose their cursory 10, 20, 15, 20 pounds, and then the weight loss comes to a screeching stop because they start introducing things back in, like pasta, like ice cream, like these other higher calorically dense foods. And there's food sensitivities that lay way underneath in a lot of people. Well, we have found out that Susan's one of them. When we did our Starch Queens weight loss program challenge 2 months ago, we did no refined grains. So no sugar, no flour. And it turns out Susan has been dealing with edema in her legs and her feet. Just a few days in, her swelling just started to go way down. So that's huge. But in our next challenge, which was greens and beans, she started noticing other sensitivities raise their head. And so we're, like I said, we're coaching everybody in the group through these issues as they arise. But Susan took the initiative and wanted to call Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn because she has a heart condition. And so she called him. Then she immediately messaged me, and she's just on cloud 9. And I want to share with you her compliment and her story with all of you.
I didn't hear about this.
I know. So Susan says, so let me tell you what happened today. I wrote an email to Dr. Esselstyn, and he called me back. It was about my heart diagnosis. He only takes cardio questions. I told him my diagnosis from 2016, and he said he had never heard of that. So there are obscure heart issues that are still being found out about. I'm just saying that. I explained to him that the first thing I explained it to him. And the first thing he said is, because your blood pressure is erratic, you can't come off your meds until you drop more weight and do it safely. He said to me, how can I help you, Susan? And he sounded like a dad. She said it was like a mother or a daughter talking to her father. She said he was so kind. I told him I'm eating whole food plant-based, and he said to keep it up. No flour of any kind, no pasta of any kind, just quinoa and veggies, and always consider portion control when you're trying to lose weight. I feel great about the conversation. Everything our coaches, Nancy and Jeanne, have said are spot on. I just have to share with you, my Starch Queen family, we are on track and destined for great things. Be encouraged today. We abused our bodies for a long time. It's going to take time to heal. Love you bunches, and a great shout out to Nancy and Jeanne for taking us under their wings and sharing their knowledge with us.
Oh, that is just, wow.
I know. So that's amazing. And so I literally had the fountain of tears going, because I've been working with Susan, and we've really been working on getting these food issues and struggling with food addiction. I mean, food addiction is a huge issue with so many people. And when you don't have a calm brain and you're still consuming flour and sugar and caffeine and alcohol, you're depriving yourself of sound decision making with regards to your health, because you're chasing that dragon. You're chasing it. You can't get off the merry-go-round. And when you get off that merry-go-round for the first time and you're looking at food the way it should be looked at, you make decisions that will heal your body. Yeah. And by default, your body will release the weight. It's really not rocket science. And this is what I'm so excited about with Susan. I'm starting to get teary-eyed, is because it's working. It's working for her, and she's feeling better. Her legs are no longer swollen. Her feet aren't swollen. She's walking to the mailbox. She's more mobile. She's getting mobility back. And so that's why we do what we do. Congratulations, Susan. Yeah. I mean,
that's amazing.
Congratulations.
I got to tell you one story about Essie, though. My first meeting with him, when I went to Plant Stock, this was one of the first Plant Stocks that they had. And we get there at the crack of dawn. I mean, because they start you at 7:30. And so we live, it's about an hour and 20 minutes away. So we had to get up early, get in the car, and drive. And we get there, and it's out on the farm completely, or they used to have it on the farm. Now they're having it at hotels, but it was at the Caldwell-Esselstyn farm. And he comes out and he's driving a gator.
Yeah.
And they can hold people. So he was driving out to the parking lot to meet people, because it was such a, long schlep from the fields. He was driving people from the parking lot and meeting people at 7:00 in the morning out there, driving up, up and back, up and back. And that was my first meeting with him. And I was like, I was just shocked. Here he is coming out to meet us. Hi, welcome to the farm,
Yeah, he's amazing. I've met him too. Yeah, I've seen him speak in Sacramento at the Get Healthy conference. He's real. He's down to earth. He wants everybody to know the truth about the healing, health promoting possibilities when you adopt a whole food plant-based. He has patients, thousands of patients, that have not gone and had their chest cavity sprung open and had to have open heart surgery because he's reversed the heart disease through plant-based nutrition. Well, he's a rock star. I mean, he's a rock star. I mean, it was like when I was sitting in the crowd in Sacramento seeing him, I was like starstruck. I was like, Nick, that's Dr. E. That's Essie. He's a gold medalist. He's like saved lives. He's saving our lives. He saved my life. It's like, and he's just so down to earth.
He is.
Anyway.
He helped Rob Otzfeld start a wellness program at the Montefiore Clinic in the Bronx. And I've got a picture, and he came down for one of his events. And Rob has got an event October 6th. Oh my God. Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn is going to be there. T. Colin Campbell is going to be there. Neil Bernard, Kim Williams, and on and on. Michelle McMacken. They're all these amazing people. The plant-based royalty. Some people follow rock stars. I follow doctors, medical doctors.
Yeah.
But I got this great picture. I'm literally standing in between Rob Otzfeld and Caldwell Esselstyn, and I look like I'm standing in a ditch.
Yeah, I know. They're tall, and you're tall.
They're both like 6'4" or 6'5", and I felt like I was in a hole. I'm like,
yeah, they're amazing.
Stool or something to like stand up with these giants.
Yeah, they're definitely pillars of the plant-based community.
Oh my God!
I just had something funny. You were saying that about them all collectively being in one place, and I love the play on words with plant stock, and of course, it's in New York.
Right. Well, it's right across the river from Woodstock.
Woodstock, but also here in California, we had at the Oakland Coliseum what was called Day on the Green. So we need to have some play on word and get them out to the West Coast and have it like, plant stock green or something where all the rock stars used to come. But anyway, let's move on. That's a great story. Susan, congratulations. We love you.
Wow.
We're so glad you're part of our program. I wanted to answer Teresa Adams' question on the 33 inches. The rule of thumb is, Teresa, is a good barometer to gauge your body mass is you take a string, stand up, measure yourself, take a string from that point to the floor, and then you fold that string in half, cut it, and then you put that cut in half string around your waist. And if the string touches end to end around your waist, you're most likely to have a normal BMI. Your body mass index would fall within the normal range. If you have a gap between the two ends of strings, you have work to do. So I'm not familiar with the 2 to the 33, but I think that the 33 inches is questionable because my husband's 6'4", 255 pounds. He isn't going to have a 33-inch waist no matter, sure, if he was a rack of bones, but he's a big man. So I follow the string is put your measuring, put a ruler across there, measure, drop a string to the floor, cut it in half, put that string around your waist. And if that string can touch just like this, end to end, you're most likely have a normal BMI. And the best way to get your BMI tested is I went into this pod at the Chico State University and they shoot air on you. And it's the most accurate way other than the water tank, which I think this now is proven to be even more accurate than the water tank at measuring your BMI. So get a string. If you have some kitchen string, get a line, put it on the ground, put it end to end around your waist. And that's a great way to measure for also not getting on the scale, because we don't really like the scale in the Star Twins program because numbers can screw with your head, but a string isn't going to mess with you. It's not going to be a number. This is just going to tell you your body mass, and you're trying to get your body mass down, and the string is a great indicator. It's not going to get mad at you. It's not going to change. It doesn't matter what you ate the day before. If your hormones are up, your hormones are down. It's the size of your body. As it shrinks, it's the truth. So get a string, measure yourself, cut it in half, and use that as your gauge to your BMI.
So one of the things we talk about in the Trifecta approach is the environmental toxins. And I want to just talk about a couple tonight. And in each show, I want to talk about a few more because I think it's so important that people get educated about these environmental toxins and what they're doing to us. So the first one I want to talk about tonight is parabens. Oh my gosh, parabens are some nasty things. First of all, they're bioaccumulative. They accumulate in your body. So everything that you have, and I just got to tell this quick story. I broke my wrist 2 summers ago, and I went to go therapy. And she pulls out this big tub and puts it on the table. And she gets a big handful, and she's going to put it on my wrist. And I said, "What's that?" And she says, "Oh, it's just a cream. I'm going to massage it in." And I said, "Just 1 second." I pick it up and turn it around. It not had 1, it had 3 parabens. And I said, "Oh, no, we're not going to use that." And I pull out my Mary Poppins bag and pull out a cream, and I give it to her. And I didn't say a word. And finally she just said, Why? What's the problem?" And I said, "That has 3 parabens in it." And I said, parabens act like your body thinks. It's not, but your body thinks and treats it like estrogen. So that's going to have some kind of impact on your reproductive system in some way, shape, or form. So this is a definite tie-in to an increase in breast cancer risks. And it's found in everything: makeup, body washes, deodorant, shampoos, facial cleansers, everything has it. And there's not just one. The ending can be paraben. It could be methylparaben, butylparaben, propylparaben. It doesn't matter. They're all bad. So parabens, number one on my hit parade list of things to look out for. So you want to make sure that everything you're getting is definitely paraben free. Okay. The other one is one I call phthalates. And this is a known endocrine disruptor. And this is what makes plastics soft and pliable. Like your shower curtain, your plastic shower curtain is going to make it, exactly that tube up there. It's got phthalates in the tube. Okay. That's what makes it soft. But when you put it into to these products, you're going to increase your risk of breast cancer, early breast development in girls, and causing issues in reproductive birth defects. This is typically added to fragrances. And I always recommend that you go fragrance free, unless you know where the fragrance is coming from, like say an essential oil or something like that. But typically what happens is when they write the word fragrance, that means nothing. And they say fragrance. Oh, well, that's proprietary information. I don't want to give away my trade secrets. Stop it. I can give that to an analytical chemist. He can tell me exactly what's in that. Stop it. It's not like it's proprietary information. But it's just that you want to hide these really, really toxic chemicals, and you put it into the word fragrance, and that really upsets me. Okay, so make sure you're getting stuff that's fragrance free. The other one I want to talk about tonight is Triclosan. Triclosan was for antimicrobial, to help. It's for chemicals for bacteria to not grow. And they were putting it in hand sanitizers, and it's in toothpaste, it's in deodorants. And it's so toxic that the government has finally banned it from being put into hand sanitizers, but it's still okay to be in toothpaste and deodorants. So I have a hard problem with this. It's really has an impact on thyroid, because it's an endocrine disruptor, but it has a real huge impact on your thyroid, reproductive organs, and it is a skin irritant. So you really, really want to be careful about phthalates. So those are my 3 chemicals tonight. Do your research when you're looking at your products. I cannot say this enough. Go to the Environmental Working Group. Look on their website. They have 2 lists, 2 databases. One is it's called the cosmetic database, but it's not just cosmetics. It's shampoo, deodorant, toothpaste, everything that you put on your body. And they also have cleaning products. Cleaning products are some seriously toxic chemicals. So please look up your products in that. They have an app. It's free. It's called Healthy Living. Please get that downloaded on your phone. You can use your camera. Yep, I like free. It's on your camera. You can take a picture of the barcode, and if it's in their database, it'll link it to it. So please get the app Healthy Living. So please do your research. Make sure that the products that you're using are toxic free. Okay? We like Pure Haven because the whole company line is toxic free. But find products that work for you that are not toxic. So I want to talk tonight about my favorite product because I was out in my yard today. After I finished putting all my grades in, I needed just a little bit of Zen time. And so I went out to my yard to weed and garden. And I found some poison ivy. So I came in and I found and I totally didn't even think about it. I pulled it out. I had gloves on, whatever. But my arms were open. So, and I was carrying the bucket. So I guess some of the leaves brushed up against my skin. And I do have a poison ivy. You have some too?
No, I have poison oak. It's right here. Yeah, because I've been running in the park. So I've been dealing with poison oak. I got the itchies. And now it's kind of like going on the backside.
All right, I'm going to tell you what to do for that.
Yeah.
So step 1, when I came in and my arm started itching, I went in, I said, ooh, they got onto me. So you got to get the oil off of you, number 1. So what I do is I take the sugar scrub, and we have several different types of sugar scrubs. Doesn't matter which one. Just pick a scrub and scrub your arms. You're getting the oils off. So like dissolves like. So poison ivy is an oil, or poison oak is an oil based. So the oils in the sugar scrub are dissolving it. So, and the scrub is taking it off. Okay, so that's step 1. So scrub your arms really, really well with the sugar scrub, and then you'll exfoliate and your skin will feel better, blah, blah, blah. Okay, then I use the refresh toner after I've washed my skin off with the scrub, then I dry it off, then I use the refresh toner. And it's funny, I use the toner for everything but a toner on my face. I use it for everything else. But I used it, I put this on my arm, sprayed it on, let it air dry, because this is calming now the skin from having a reaction. And then if I do break out, Boo Boo Stick, okay? Boo Boo Stick is going to calm it down, help with the inflammation, help with the healing, and it's amazing. So that's my personal poison ivy trifecta.
Well, I have the toner and the Boo Boo Stick, so I'll use that much better. I want to answer, I want you, if you don't mind,
What?
to answer Teresa's question on parabens. Can parabens cause endometriosis?
Off the top of my head, I don't know, but here's what I'm going to say to that. Parabens are going to have some impact on your reproductive system in some way, shape, or form. I mean, it can cause things like, I've heard in research that it can cause you to have heavy periods, light periods. It can cause your ovaries to not ovulate. It can cause, I've heard it tied to ovarian cancer, but I've also, the biggest one is breast cancer though. I mean, they've done dissections where they've taken the tissues, the lumps out, and they've got parabens in the middle of it. So it's going to have some impact on your reproductive system. So how you are affected, everybody's different in how your body's going to respond to the parabens. But your body thinks it's estrogen and it's bioaccumulative and it's going to stay in your body. So do I know? I don't know, but we could put that in for the next show. I can research endometriosis and parabens and see if
Endometriosis can be very painful, very debilitating, very, 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 very painful. I had a couple of my aunts ended up having endometriosis and had to have hysterectomies in their late 30s and early 40s. So, so if you have endometriosis, it's and
a lot of these things can be prevented by changing what we call the trifecta, changing what goes in, the food and drink, what goes on, the environmental toxins, and exercise. By changing these 3 points, you can change a lot of your health destiny.
Well, and I'd also like to add too, Teresa, is that through all of my reading and research, I have read so many testimonials over the years, and I've read where many, many ladies have said, I was at my wit's end. I had endometriosis severely. I went whole food plant-based 100%, and my endometriosis was improved almost overnight. So the body will heal when given 100% of the proper healing foods.
You got to get out of your way.
I know we're getting kind of late here, Jeanne, but I want to share something really quick too. It's summertime, and so when I'm out running, heat index and the UV index is going up. So when the heat index is going up, I like to hydrate always. So if you're out and about, ladies and gentlemen, keep a water, a fruit with you that's super high in water, like orange or an apple. Keep one in your purse. They won't go bad in your purse unless, of course, you forget about them. But have that orange or an apple, super hydrating. We learned from Dr. Danaeff that fruit is a great way to hydrate. And they've got, they're like little balls of electrolytes. They have sugar, they have sodium. So keep a high water fruit with you all the time during the summer. But for the UV index going up for sunscreen's a big deal. We know we don't want zinc, especially if it's the low particle zinc. This product called Juice Beauty. I purchased it at Ulta. Ulta is a cosmetic store that's coast to coast and everywhere in between. And this has actually been vetted by the Environmental Working Group. And this is their Stem Cellular CC Cream Broad Spectrum SPF 30 sunscreen with tint in it. So this is on the Environmental Working Group as
what did they rate it?
It was a 1.
Good.
This is
That's
a
what
1.
you want to get. Is you want to get products that are a 1.
These are a 1, and this is accessible just at your local Ulta. And I like it because it's organic and it's vegan. Very good stuff. The other product that I wanted to talk about real quick tonight is from Avalon Organics. This is a nourishing lavender shampoo. It's smooth, shiny, touchably soft, results to normal to hair. It is NSF certified, no GMOs, vegan. And what I liked about it, I like this because we're going backpacking when we go to Mount Whitney. This shampoo is biodegradable. So I liked that for the environment, and it's got no GMOs, no parabens, no harsh sulfates, no preservatives, no synthetic colors or fragrances, no phthalates, or the most important, in my opinion, too, is not no animal testing. So this I found at the local health food store, and it is called Avalon Organics. So I'll be using this when we go backpacking because it's biodegradable. And
Did you look it up on the EWG?
No, I haven't. I just bought it. I've used it a couple times to test it, and I liked it.
You need to check it on your app. Check it on your Healthy Living app.
I scanned it, and it didn't come up. It's one of those ones on the app. So I've got the app right here, and it did. A lot of these products, oops, it's backwards. So no results.
No results.
No results.
Well, because their products are coming out all the time, and it takes a while to get into the database. And they do have about 80,000 products in their database, but they keep coming out with new products, and they take the old ones off the shelf. So, just when you got one tested, they come out with 5 more. So
Right. So that is my products for the week. And so I think we can wrap up. In closing, we want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. If you're interested in having some incredible results like Rabbi Beth and Susan and our other members, Kara's doing phenomenal.
No, she's killing me.
We're gonna recruit her and call Kara the Step Queen. So
my God.
She's doing amazing. I know. So thank you all for joining
pushing my little buttons.
Oh, hey, Kara, I know Jeanne, and I've spent a week with Jeanne. Jeanne is competitive, I'm telling you. So you've got yourself a heck of a workout partner in Jeanne, that's for sure. So if you're interested in joining or learning more about our program, we offer a day's worth of Starch Queens recipes. Just go to starchqueens.net, and up on the top, you can see a little, the font is pretty small. Click on it. Give us your email address. We'll give you a day's worth of recipes, and our program is always open. We take new clients whenever you'd like to join us. We would love to have you. We have a very affordable rate for our program, and you can sign up and join automatically at sqweightloss.com, and we would love to have you join us if you're interested.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Have a great week. Real quick, in the program this month, we're doing no caffeine. Our challenge is no caffeine. And I want to shout out to all of our group members that are struggling with some headaches today. Continue on and hydrate. Walk and hydrate. And the detox and withdrawal will pass. We promise you. It will. We promise. Have a great day, everybody. Great evening. Thanks for sticking with us.
All right. Not done, boy.
Night, night. High five.
High five.
High five. I know, where are you?
I know. It's like, I don't know.
Night, everybody.